We asked Ron Van Dam a very simple question. What do you think of The Ron Van Dam Show?
It can be exhilarating at times. It can be horrible.
You have to admire the guy's honesty. You are listening to Ron Van Dam on New England Broadcasting.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Thank you.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, you. No, you. Welcome to the program. It's the Ron Van Dam Show. Guess what my name is? I know, it's so obvious. Make yourself as comfortable as possible while still retaining your clothes, and I will entertain you for the next half hour. No, I don't juggle. I don't eat fire. I cannot contort myself into a box. Beyond that, well, not much of anything else either. I am now going to do my famous pantomime act. I've been known across the country because I've honed this act so distinctly. It's freaking amazing. Are you ready? Okay, my pantomime act. Here we go. I am now trying to get out of a box. Ooh, I'm pressing on the sides. I can't get out. This is crazy, man. I can't get out of a fictitious box that is surrounding me on all sides. Look at this. I'm stuck in a box. Thank you very much. All right, now I'm going to do the famous pulling on the rope that doesn't exist. Here we go. I'm pulling on a rope that doesn't exist. Look, I'm pulling as hard as I can, but nothing seems to happen. At least I've gotten out of the box. Thank you very much. If there are any school departments across the country listening to this and you'd like me to perform my pantomime act in your school, in your auditorium, on your stage, in front of your children, I am available. The cost? It's nominal because I love the kids. I do it for the kids. $200,000 an hour. That's all I charge. But the kids appreciate pantomime as an art as a result of my performance. That is worth the money. I don't believe in children drinking alcohol and cocktails, but it sure does make it easier to raise them. Well, welcome to the program. I am Ron Van Dam. I will indeed make your life better by the time this half hour is over, or half hour is over. I can't even talk. By the time the half hour is over, you'll be so much more enlightened, and just you will thank me because it's going to be incredible.
Sorry, I don't know that.
All right, Alexa, that's enough. She is so bothersome. Sometimes I'll just be talking in my room, in my bedroom, talking about really odd things. And I have an Alexa contraption device in my bedroom because I like to sleep with women, even if they are virtual. And I'll say something, and I won't even call her name, and she will, through the device, she will curse me out. I don't. She said, "I'm sorry, Ron, that's not appropriate." It's amazing how she knows these things. All right. Well, welcome to the show. Yesterday I told you that William Shatner, at the age of 90, is going to be catapulted into orbit on one of Jeff Bezos's Amazon rocket ships. And I'm following this. This is going to take place in October, by the way, which is this month, oddly enough, on October 12th, I believe. Oh, that's not far away. Why am I fascinated that William Shatner is being catapulted into orbit at the age of 90? I have no freaking idea. I totally don't care. It has nothing to do with me whatsoever. I guess I just have nothing else to be concerned about. And that's a good thing. Yesterday on Capitol Hill, the whistleblower, the woman that blows whistles, who worked at Facebook for a number of years, stole documents, and happily so, and appeared in front of Congress to tell the senators and whoever they were that Facebook is a horrible, horrible, horrible company that cares more about profit than it does about people. You've just named every company on the planet, by the way. I mean, what company doesn't care more about profit than it does people? And every single company executive will say, oh, no, 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 Ron. Oh, no, 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 no. We care about people more than we care about profit. Oh, bullshit. Come on. Seriously? Come on. Once you get a lot of money in your pocket, you don't want to disrupt that flow for any reason, and you become very inhumane just naturally. Read it. It's in the Bible, page 27, the bottom of the page, with the footnotes. Research has been done. People turn nasty and egotistical and selfish as soon as the money flow starts coming in from other people. People then are not people anymore. They are sources of income. Let's not be Christian about this. Let's be honest. And Mark Gutenberg, Steve Guttenberg, whatever the fuck his name is, stands there and in a sweatshirt and says, well, we at Facebook care more about people than we do about profit. Are you serious? Is that how you became so big in the business that you're a monopoly? And by the way, a lot of people say, oh, I don't do Facebook anymore. I just do Instagram. Facebook owns Instagram, you douchebag. You ain't helping things when you're doing that. What's that one where you can take a picture of yourself and put bunny ears on it and send it to other people? What is that called? Destruction of society? Is that what it's called? Is it Instagram or TikTok or what? What the hell is that? I got to tell you something, man. I do not get off putting bunny ears on my head and sending the picture to other people. I think what I'm doing is I'm relaying to all my friends what a gigantic douchebag I can be. You don't understand how stupid you look. Oi, oi, oi. And send pictures of yourself doing odd, strange things? Sure, let everybody know. Or, I protect my privacy. What I do is my business. With the decisions, whether I get a vaccine or not, is my business. What I do behind closed doors is my business. What I do, that's my business, and it's nobody's business. However, I will go on Facebook and tell everybody my business. Jesus. Come on, man. Come on. I mean, when do you wake up? When do you wake up from this stupor of stupidity? If you're going to have a Facebook account, at least use it for just to tell people it's their birthday, happy birthday, thinking of you. Or to raise money for, people that have diseases and, raise money. That's fine, too. To hook up with family and keep in touch and send pictures of the children as they grow older. Why you do that, I have no idea, but people do that. That's fine. That's the extent of that stupid thing. Everything else to explain to everybody how angry you are and how pissed off you are and how much you hate people. Hey, wait a minute. That sounds like my radio show. All right, never mind. Anyway, welcome to the program. I do have an interesting guest coming up a little bit later in the program. I hope you'll hang until then. Hey, here's something that's confusing the hell out of me. As if that never happens, ever. Wasn't last year the Summer Olympics? I think it was. That's when Simone Biles, or was that what her name is? Simone Biles? Something. She refused to participate in the floor exercise, as I do. I've refused to not only participate in the floor exercise, I have refused to exercise at all. So I get it, Simone. Simone was stressed. I've been stressed. Stress is a horrible thing. It creates anxiety, ill thoughts. I get it, Simone. I'm on your side. All right? Fine. And then people, when she was expressing her, herself and her problems, people actually on Facebook demeaned her and said, what a wuss, what you can't put up with a few, bro, what a wuss you are. You're on an Olympic team in order to represent this country. You're unpatriotic. This is why I hate Facebook. Come on, man. Give the girl a break. Anyway, that was this past summer, wasn't it? I mean, I know time is confusing now, but I believe it was this last summer. Guess what's happening this upcoming winter? Another Olympics. It's the Winter Olympics, because the Summer Olympics, which we just went through, apparently was postponed a year because of that corona thing. And I'm talking about the beer. And when I say the Delta variant, I'm not talking about the airline. Have to clarify. So now I've got the two Olympics in the same year, which is the way it used to be, I think. I'm just so damn confused. That's the problem. So the Winter Olympics are coming up. I don't know where the hell they're going to be. I didn't look. I don't care. Let me tell you something about the Olympics, because it is my job to complain about things. The Olympics, I don't get it. I just don't get it. There's like 200 countries or 125 countries that participate. I don't know. I don't count them because I don't watch the opening ceremonies where they drone on country by country by country. They've got countries participating in the Olympics that only have like 3 citizens. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't get it. And they compete. Why? What? Why? Why are people competing? Why are countries competing in badminton or in tobogganing? Why? I don't understand it. But anyway, they are competing in a sport for the honor of their country. Ooh, okay. And to put a piece of metal around their neck with a ribbon. Okay. Good for you. Good for you. Yes, that is an Olympic gold medal winner. You must respect that person. Oh, really? Oh. That's fine. Whatever they did, wonderful. Okay, like what? Respect them for what? You know, people in the Olympics, they train their entire lives for one moment. When you think about it, who's the crazy person now? Your entire life, you took your entire childhood and traded it in for one moment to compete against 3 people in Ethiopia. I think you've ruined your life. Look up to you? I guess people do. Me? No. I wonder what's wrong with you. Obsessive compulsive? Yeah, you're in that category. But Ron, my achievement was incredible. To you? Hey, if you want to sacrifice your entire childhood in order to put a medal around your neck and to kiss it on a platform, you go for it, man. You go do it. And post it on your Facebook page so everybody knows. And by the way, happy birthday. Okay. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, there'll be more program to enjoy. Not that there was any program to enjoy to begin with, but I'm just saying.
Did you know that 4 in every 10 American adults suffer from attention deficit disorder? I'm talking to you, so if you could, yeah, great. 4 in every 10 American adults suffer from attention deficit disorder, a condition. Okay, still talking to you. Can you just for a minute, literally, 60 seconds tops. Attention deficit disorder is a condition that afflicts men and women. Put the phone down, maybe? Check your messages after I'm done, could you? Because you really should listen to this. Trust me. Attention deficit disorder afflicts men and women of any age and can be... Why do you have a rubber duck? Where did that even come from? Could you please put that away? Is it so hard to give me a minute of your time to... There is nothing on the bottom of your shoe. You have no reason to be looking at that right now. None. Yes, a bird flew by the window. They do that all the time. They're birds. Now let's talk about attention deficit. Jesus Christ, did you really just turn your chair around? You're spinning in your chair. Great. And my time is up. Adult attention deficit disorder. Get some help already.
Hi, Ron. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Sarah, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Sarah's here, Sara Bendrick, and she is a landscape contractor. And
Yep.
Among other things, she's an outdoor specialist. Can I call you that?
Sure, absolutely.
All right, I just did, and I'm going to continue to do so. Right. We have fallen in love with our homes because we had to, because
Yep.
many of us were stuck in them, but it was a pleasant stuck at that. And when you do that, you look around and you go, "What can I do to make things better here?" And one of them is looking outside, and there are some creative ideas going around, aren't there?
Oh my gosh, yes. There's been such a boom in the landscape industry. I'm very grateful myself.
Yes, I can imagine. People are creating outdoor living spaces where before it was just a chair.
I know, right? It's
Yeah.
kind of incredible how much people are wanting to spend time outside and putting together these outdoor living spaces. Mm-hmm. And there's a ton of ways to do it, too.
Give me an idea that might be fairly budget friendly, but at the same time would make a difference.
Absolutely. So as a landscape designer and contractor, I come across a lot of projects, and through the last year and a half, materials have been volatile in prices. So being able to be flexible and maybe creative with different items that might be more available has been really kind of fun and challenging. And for example, when lumber prices were through the roof, I had suggested to some of my clients, well, instead of building this privacy fence, what if we built a green wall, which is basically using these recycled plastic container bags that you can actually stick 1-gallon plants in, and it creates this beautiful backdrop with different plants, and you can have different colors and textures, and it creates more or less a green wall backdrop instead of just a standard boring fence. But another thing that I was suggesting to people is instead of building just a fence, why don't we go through and just get some shrubs? Because shrubs can be very cost effective. So putting in some 5-foot shrubs, planting them will give you that same green effect. And then the last thing in terms of all these things is if you're going to install these plants, you want to make sure that you can maintain them. So I've been working with Steel, and they have an AK battery series. for their power tools, and using those to help maintain these spaces, whether it's hedging or trimming, can really, really help people maintain the spaces, which is probably the most important thing once you invest in your landscape.
Yeah, that's true. I have all plug-in electric things.
Right? Isn't it so useful?
Oh man, I was cutting the cord on most of them. This is awful.
Well, it's really kind of crazy with how far the battery-powered tools have become. Like, they really are replacing a lot of the older traditional styles of maintenance.
And the cost is not that expensive anymore. Those are going down a little bit in price here and there. So that's not so bad.
The cost is going down, but also like you can interchange batteries with different tools. So for like a typical homeowner, they might have 1 or 2 batteries and have 4 or 5 different tools that they can replace, just switch the batteries in between from blowing or trimming or hedging, and making it all pretty easy to do.
That's not a bad investment. Now, because that's something I can do myself. Everything else I can't. Well, it's true. Now, being an outdoor specialist, you probably have to also get into, there's a thing called interior decorating, which we're all familiar with. I guess there's exterior decorating as well. And I've noticed that all you can really do outside is just get wood color things and plant green color things. But I think color can be like a big thing.
Yeah, color can be super important in a landscape. And I think a lot of us are a lot more comfortable with interior design. And when it comes to exterior design, it's a little scarier because there's so many changes. You have the weather to deal with. You don't have 4 walls that you're constrained to. It's very open. And so what I like to suggest to people is to talk with professionals or get a design consult, like have a consultation with a designer. And that can really help expand your vision of your own space, because so many of us are just used to seeing our yard and have like limited vision of what we might be able to do with it. And you can actually do quite a bit to make it a nice and comfortable space, whether it's adding a fire pit or bringing in some solar lights. They're like, we've done these really fun things with chainsaws. I'll take a chainsaw and I'll cut a log into little chunks, and then you drill through the center and you could drop in these solar lights. And you can just put those along the side of a path or a patio, and it adds so much charm. And that's something that's very DIY friendly, but also it's something that's very affordable if you have some trees or logs on site that you can work with.
Yeah. I love your idea of checking to see what's available before you get into something, because I have friends that were doing this outdoor living thing in the backyard. They're still waiting for things to come in 7 months later, and they're disappointed. And it seems a lot more logical. Do things that are available and that you can actually do.
Yeah, I think it's really good to plan out what you want to do in your yard so you can maximize and allocate the budget in those areas, but also be flexible to pivot. And the more that people can use local things, or maybe even DIY or bring in things that they can either source locally or make locally, can really help, because you can have a beautiful backyard and it can look a million ways. And it doesn't mean that the only way it's going to look great is buying something that has a 3-month wait list. you know? Like, for example, like a fire pit, you could purchase one from another country and it could take, 6 weeks to get here. Yeah. Or you could build one with stones that you find in your backyard and still make it look attractive.
Wow. I need guidance. Where do I go for guidance?
Yeah, if you guys would check out DIYtipswithSara.com, and that's Sarah without the H. We have a bunch of tips there. I can even show you guys how to build the solar plant or the solar log holders that I spoke about, as well as log planters. And there's a bunch of other DIY tips there to help you enhance your landscape.
Was the H always dropped off to Sarah, or was that?
Yeah, never had an H.
Never had an H. never had an H.
I know it's popular, Sarah with an H and then Sarah without an H. I don't know.
I don't know.
They're both common, but I don't know what's more common, to be honest.
I don't know. I just go by whatever I'm told. It doesn't really, it still sounds the same. Okay. All right. Wow. Well, thanks. Yep. Yeah. Thanks for the ideas. Any other tips?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I think if you're going to DIY your landscape, I would suggest focusing on 1 to 3 colors in your planting palettes, because oftentimes you'll see people that get excited and they literally buy like every bright color there is. And unless you're going for something very eclectic or maybe a cottage garden, it kind of looks a little messy for most homes. Most homeowners like a modern kind of clean look with their house. You see a lot of neutrals, and the best planting palette to complement that is picking something that has 1 to 3 colors in it, so that way there's a lot of repetition throughout the space and it's not so busy.
Okay. What if you're sitting on the grass in a chair in your backyard and you say, "Oh, I wish I had a patio." I mean, that's that's something you have to bring somebody in for, right?
Well, I think it depends on what type of patio, and this goes back to kind of planning out your space. Because, I mean, a patio can be a gravel area that you put furniture out.
Yeah.
A patio could also be pavers. It could also be concrete. So it can be a lot of things. I would suggest if you're going to do something like concrete or pavers, you consult with a professional. Some people can DIY it and save some money, but for some people, I'd recommend having it done. So it's one of those things. At least with concrete, you get one shot. With pavers, if you mess it up, you can do it again, but it's a lot of work. So you kind of want to do those things once.
Okay. Yeah, the last thing I want to do is a lot of work. I always go for easy things that I can't
well, that's the thing.
up.
You either pay somebody else to do it, and that's easy, or you save some money and do it yourself.
Yeah.
So I think people are all over the spectrum in that. So there's plenty of resources. And again, the DIY tips with Sarah, there's a great bank of resources there for people that do want to do projects like these.
Yeah, it's not easy to get a contractor these days. I hope that eases up, but my God, it's tough to get a plumber, a contractor, an electrician, whatever. It's everybody's busy.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Yes, I'm saying it's tough to get a contractor these days. Everybody's busy doing these things, and it's like you have to wait to get a contractor to come in.
Well, it's definitely a contractor's market right now.
Yeah.
Just getting one to call you back is a issue in itself, and there's just been such a boom. And then also things are very expensive. Materials are expensive, but also contractors are expensive.
Yeah.
And then labor has been increasing just to be able to keep employees. People have had to increase what they're paying people, which is good in some ways, but also just like reflects a higher cost on the end to the homeowner. So
I know.
it has been impacted. So being able to consult with people, getting on their schedules earlier than later is good, as well as being creative and maybe trying to figure out how to tackle some things yourself.
But
the biggest thing is figure out your dream yard, start planning it out, and that way you have the power to really focus on what's important.
And again, you can get these tips and some guidance by going to the website. Once more, please.
DIY tips with Sarah, no H.
No H, and don't put no H in the thing.
Yeah, don't put no H. So DIYtipswithSarah.com, and don't put an H.
Okay, Sarah, thanks so much for your time today. Well, that'll do it for me today. You've been wonderful. I'd like to take a ribbon and shove a piece of metal onto it and put it around your neck and kiss you as you stand on a box. I really would like to do that. Only I don't have time to do things like that. Okay? Winter Olympics. I can't. You know, most of that is done in the snow. Why would you want to do anything in the snow? You know how I feel about skiing if you listen to the program. God did not create you with wings, nor did God create you, if this is the theory that you buy, nor did God create you with wooden planks on your shoes. You are not meant to go down slippery hills at 150 miles an hour. It was not the intent. Nobody wanted that to happen. Why you choose to make that happen, I don't know. You must understand that the safest part of skiing is sitting on that little cold metal bar on the chairlift. Beyond that, not a good idea. Not a good idea. The best part about skiing is sitting in the chalet with a cup of hot cocoa in front of the fireplace. Even that is dangerous. The fire in the fireplace could explode and burn people. So no, there's just nothing about skiing that makes any sense. There just isn't. People put on 17 layers of clothes because they're going to freeze to death, and then they get catapulted to the top of a mountain and shove themselves off the mountain on wooden planks toward their certain and possible death. Boy, what a awesome idea that is. Who came up with this? Who does these things? I know a lot of people that love to ski, and I don't stop them. I don't say, excuse me, you shouldn't be skiing. But, if we're going to make people wear seat belts in cars in case they could have a fender bender and hurt themselves, then I beckon to your senses. Why would you go to the top of a mountain and thrust yourself off it on slippery wood and not wear a seatbelt? Because there's nothing to wear a seatbelt on. What, are you going to strap yourself to the mountain so you don't get hurt? No, that would defeat the purpose. It's just one of those things in life that make no sense. It's like boxing. Boxing's fun, isn't it? Watch two grown adults, usually adults, beat the crap out of each other until they pass out. Okay, how much are the tickets? I used to think, oh no, boxing is horrible. These people are slowly killing themselves inside of a confined area with an audience. And then I realized when I got older, hey, if that's the choice that you make, if that's your choosing, go for it, man. I'm not going to sit there and watch it, but if that's what you choose to do, enjoy. You're not hurting me. All right. Actually, when I was a child, I'm embarrassed because I'm backtracking here. When I was a child, my parents sent me to boxing school. Yeah, I was like 12 years old. And you know what? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed hitting a punching bag and all that stuff and sparring with other people. I still spar with people, but now it's verbally. But I kind of did enjoy it, and I don't know why. I guess it's because we're basically animals. We are. We're basically animals. And I expect too much from the human race, forgetting that we're basically animals. And animals live to survive. That's their number one thing to do, to survive. That's what an animal does. That's what we do. I tend to forget that. I tend to think that we should all be civilized. But that's just a thing. That's just a thing that we created to make this all seem okay. But we can't live up to that thing, to being civilized. We call it civilization, but that word doesn't fit. Thank you for listening. I'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new show. Until that time arrives, I wish you
Sorry,
peace.
I don't know that.
Well, it's true.